Okay, good. Could we see your face at something kidogo? Huh? Waweru, just say hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Yeah, well, what about you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, great.
Pleasure meeting you guys.
Pleasure meeting you. I hope you're well and El Nino is not stopping us from going to make money, right?
Nakuru, we are doing well.
Nice. You're in Nakuru.
Yes, I'm in Nakuru.
Oh, awesome. Karibu sana. El Nino
Asante.
inakupelekaje huko?
El Nino si mbaya.
Eh,
Inanyesha hata saizi as we speak it is raining outside.
okay.
But at least we thank God that we are getting business.
Oh, yes, we thank God. And as I said, just because they said that doesn't mean we're going to stop looking for and making money. We still continue making money, right? So let's start. I want us to start with a little quiz here. And who's going to be there to be tracking the people who give me the right answer? Because you will get a slot to say what you do for the person who has the most answers correct. So who will help me, Faith?
Okay.
Okay, all right. So let's start. You just type the answers in the chat box, huh? Because if we do it by acclamation, I will not, and two of you say the answer at the same time, I might not be able to know who did it first if we do it by acclamation. So let's chat the answer, let's type the answers in the chat box. So what is the term for a potential customer who has expressed interest in an insurance product but has not yet made a purchase? Just write A, B, C, or D.
Renews Kenga was the first one. Said
Okay.
prospect.
I said prospect. Okay, good. So Kenga 1. You're on top of the league now. You're leading the league, Kenga? Okay, let's see who's going to come for you. Okay, all right. Number 2, in sales, which is the process of identifying and cultivating potential customers for a business? What is that called? That process of identifying and cultivating potential customers. What is that process called?
Mercy came first, said a B.
Uh-huh.
B
Okay.
is prospecting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there we can see Kenga.
Yes.
Yes, the league tables are turning.
Yes, I can see that.
You can see that. So let's go back and stretch those muscles a bit, eh?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Number 3, in the insurance industry, what does the acronym CRM stand for? Yes. Any answers, Faith?
Yeah, we have Rachel said, not Rachel, Timothy said A, that is customer relationship management.
Okay.
And Alex, yeah, Timothy was the first one.
Okay, all right. So Timothy there, hey, now this table of ours is becoming very tight because there's Kenga with 1, Mercy with 1, Timothy with 1. Now here the tiebreakers are about to come because we have only got 2 more questions, eh? So the tiebreakers are now here. Okay, wake a speed. Okay. What is the purpose of a lead magnet in the context of insurance sales? To increase insurance premiums, to discourage referrals, to attract and capture potential customer information, to attract and capture potential customer information. Sorry, that is repeated. That's a mistake. Yes. So we'll choose from from those.
Timothy
any
came up
answers?
first.
Huh?
Yeah, we have Timothy chose C, to attract and capture potential customer information.
Okay. Wow, Timothy. Timothy, you've
Yes,
taken the lead.
yes.
Okay, now this one is now the do or die, yeah? Okay. Kenga, wake up. It's do or die now. All right, Timothy is in the lead now. Okay, last question. How can insurance agents effectively use networking to generate leads? Avoiding industry events and conferences, focusing solely on online networking, building relationships at industry events and networking functions, D, ignoring social media platforms.
Mercy came up first with a C,
With C.
followed by Monica,
Okay.
then Timothy.
Then Timothy. Okay, fine. So we have a tie between, that's the end of the question. So we have a tie between Mercy and Timothy. Great job. So what I'll do, I'll give each of you a chance just to say what you do, you know, at that pitch, elevator pitch, to say what you do. And what is it that you're expecting from us here at the webinar here in the webinar? Mercy?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mercy Yahuma. I work with Britam. I'm a financial advisor and a unit leader at Britam. And I'm here because I would like to sharpen my skills, especially in sales, make my sales more, multiply my sales, that is, and multiply my money. So that's who I am. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I wish we could have seen your face, your beautiful face, Mercy.
Let's see.
There you are. Hi.
Oh, you can see me. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
It's a
Hi.
pleasure.
Okay, pleasure too, Mercy. Pleasure
Thank
too.
you.
All right, Timothy. Where are you? This is your 5-minute,
Yes.
your elevator pitch. Yes, tell us.
Yes, here I am. My name is Timothy Gatehi. I'm from Jubilee Health. I'm a unit leader, and I'm also an agent. So basically, we deal in health solutions for from individuals to corporates and everything in between. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm looking forward to building very wonderful networks from the team, and to also learn a lot about how to enhance my sales skills and to grow in all manner of ways after attending this. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Timothy. And amazingly, we always look at wealth in terms of money, assets, and things like that. But do you know that your health is one of your greatest assets that you have? Think about
Very
it.
true.
So yeah, Timothy, that's a great space, because your health is one of your great, in fact, it is the greatest wealth that you would have in your, or asset that you'd have. Yes, without further ado, I want us to start on our webinar where we're going to see how to move you from someone being an insurance agent to an actual financial advisory expert, giving a wholesome offering or product or services to your potential customers. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our chief trainer, and her name is Eunice Minor. Let's welcome her to the podium. A big clap. Just do it as an emoji as well.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm surprised that for the first time, insurance agents don't want to show their faces. I've never seen this. It's a first. Visibility is key. Did you forget this? Anyway, maybe things have changed, but as a salesperson, visibility is everything. You want to be visible. You want people to remember you. So I'm just surprised that in this meeting, people don't want to be remembered. But it is all right. But you need to remember at the back of the mind, especially when you're doing online meetings, please be visible. We cannot avoid face, being visible. The same way you meet people physically, it should be the same way you do it online. So do not give up, or rather do not get tired of showing your face, all right? I'm trying to remove Brenda from being on the spotlight. Derek, you can help us there so that I am on the spotlight. I have to be, yes, now that's better. Okay, so just by typing, I would like to hear what you're expecting. There must be a reason why you joined. It's late in the evening, it's 7 p.m. You didn't just, show up. There is something that you're expecting. What is that? You could type in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and I will, appoint you to speak. Please type in the chat. What are you expecting tonight? Why did you join? Yeah, and where are you joining us from? Thank you, Brenda, for the quiz. It was interesting. At least people have not forgotten their job. So I'm waiting to see your expectations before I start speaking. And then I find that I'm not even meeting your expectations. Aha, Stanley. To learn from the best to become one of them. Awesome. Please keep typing, or you could just raise your hand and then I will ask you to speak.
Rachel
says. Rachel Modoni. Okay, go on. Yep, go on, Brenda.
No, I was just giving you the charts that as they are coming in. Rachel says, I'm looking forward to be elevated.
Awesome.
That's from Rachel.
Great. Rachel. We are still waiting for you. Please type in the chat. What are you looking forward to? Why are you here?
Alex here says, I love learning new ideas, especially from people who have made some achievements. Okay. Mudhoni Kiara says to make more sales. Victor, my expectations is, how can I be the best financial advisor in the whole country? Okay. And then we have from Margaret, every opportunity to learn should be taken. You can never have too much knowledge. Then we have Kenga, I'm joining from Nyeri. I expect to learn the best way of approaching corporate clients as far as life assurance is concerned. Then we have Waweru, a wise man learns from the experience of others. And Samson, to become better in my work. Then we have Victor, every day is a learning lesson to me. So adding a skill to better my sales is what I'm looking for here.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. Let's see if I'm going to meet your expectations. I believe I will. And most importantly, exceed expectations. I think those who know me know that I like to exceed your expectations. And I believe tonight is going to be one of those days that we exceed your expectations. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So today we are discussing sales for insurance sales agents. It's one of them, actually a very unique webinar that we have today. The only webinar that we have only insurance agents and not mixed with other people. So I think we're going to have a very, candid conversation, more deeper than other days. And my goal for you is that by the end of today's session, you will understand selling. You will understand why customers do not buy, and then how you become a trusted financial advisor. So we've already introduced ourselves. You can type in the chat, say your name and where you're joining us from, all of you, so we get to know each other. I know you're all selling insurance and you can learn something from each other. this is no longer about competition. I know 844 taught us to compete, that cutthroat competition. Unfortunately, the world we're living today is not about competition, it's about collaboration. And that's why, as much as, we sell insurance and you sell insurance, we are here together to enable each other and to, grow together. So do not worry about competition. And just a brief about your trainer tonight. Eunice Minor, I don't know how many know Eunice Minor. If you have an idea of Eunice Minor, please raise your hand. There's an emoji there that you can use to show, just by a show of hand, how many of you know Eunice Minor? Yes, Lulu, I see you. I see your hand. Okay, so only one person knows Eunice. Yeah, that's good. Now that I'm not known, it's a good thing because I have an opportunity to. Oh, okay, there are more. There are more hands. Yeah, so a sales consultant, trainer, and coach, I focus on sales. Those who know me know that I started my career as a scientist in a pharmaceutical company where I was a lab technician. And then I went into training. So I'm a trained trainer. However, I was training in technology and business communication. And then I wanted to make money. And let me tell you, when you want to make money, nobody can stop you. So I resigned from my training job. After working for 5 years, I had managed to double my income in 5 years. That was huge, right? But it was not enough. I could not even afford to pay school fees for my child in that particular institution. So I read many books. Some of them are by Robert Kiyosaki, Zig Ziglar, a lot of books. I actually started learning about sales before I became a salesperson. And the more I read, the more I wanted to be a salesperson. Why? Because all those books taught me that for me to make money, I needed to learn how to sell. And which is the best way to sell than to just, get into it and start selling. Fortunately or unfortunately, I landed my first sales career in selling life insurance. Oh my God, that was hard. And the first 3 months, I sold nothing. The fourth month, I sold 5 policies. The next 3 months, I sold nothing. That tells you about, that pattern. It means that on the 4th month, I exhausted all the prospects I had been following up for the last 3 months. And then I had no more, so I had to start afresh. And after that, I remember I went to my unit manager. For those who are from Britam, a guy called Timothy Kirema. And I asked him, what do I need to do to get to Aki? Now, it is September, my friends. I have done 5 policies in September, and I'm asking my boss how to get to Aki. And he looked at me, he smiled and told me it's not easy. It's actually not possible. Because I asked him, I did not ask you whether it is possible or not. I asked, what do I need to do? I was like that guy in the Bible who went to Jesus and asked Jesus, what do I need to do so that I can be born again? And so just like that person, I went to my manager and said, what do I need to do? He told me how impossible it is. And all I wanted is, what do I need to do? And he told me I needed to do 30 applications, that is 30 policies. And at that time, it used to be 1.8 million. Now, for now, I don't know how many it is. Please type for me in the chat so that I know. How many applications do you need to qualify for Aki and how much API? I know I'm speaking to people who understand the language, so put for me there. And I think even general insurance now goes to Aki, isn't it? It's long since I was in there. Okay. So, and I told him I will qualify for Aki. Now it is September, I had 5 applications. So I needed to look for 25 between September and December. How many months are those? 4 months. Basically, I was going to do 4 months, 25 applications, and I had taken 6 months to do only 5. Yeah. And guess what? At the end of the year, 31st of December, I had 30 applications and 2.3 million. So I even surpassed. So why am I sharing this story? I'm just sharing this story to say that whatever you put your eyes on and you focus on, it's not about, how long. It's about your focus. Do you have laser focus to what you want? It can be achieved. Fast forward, because I got promoted to be a unit manager, then a country sales manager for microinsurance. And eventually I left and started BSmart, which is an online insurance comparison platform. Coming from a technology background and understanding insurance deeply, I knew that we could sell insurance online. And so I resigned from my job again, a very good job, to go and, chase this dream. Why? Because it was very important for me. Fast forward, it's been now many years. Since 2017. How many years we have? It's 7 years. It's been 7 years now. And last year we started 20X Entrepreneur as a company. 20X Entrepreneur is a sales consultancy company. And why did we start 20X Entrepreneur? One of the things that we realized is our customers, because, being a salesperson, I was still training. I was training salespeople, or rather business owners, on how to sell more in their businesses. And there was increasingly demand. And last year, I bowed to that demand and we started 20X Entrepreneur. And you're wondering, why 20X? 20X because from the time I left my job when I was earning 25,000 shillings, it took me about 3 years and I was able to earn 500,000 shillings. In 3 years, less than 3 years actually. And therefore, that is if you move from 25K to 500K, how many times is that? That was my personal journey. And I have documented that science, because it's a science, because I did it, you can also do it. So you can type in the chat, 500K divided by 25,000 is actually 20 times. That is the source of the name 20X or 20 times entrepreneur. So it's a sales consultancy. We focus on recruiting salespeople, training them, and coaching them so that they can do 20 times. And in that, businesses are also able to do 20 times, because so long as the salesperson is doing 20 times, then the businesses will definitely grow to that level. We also offer networking events. This is already past, but next year, January 12th, we have an event called Sales Fest Africa. This event is going to be very unique for next year. It is our 4th edition. And it's going to be very unique because you're focusing on distributors. We're focusing on people who are doing distribution in all areas, FMCGs. The focus is distribution. And why distribution? Because we, after doing a lot of research and also being in this, working with businesses, we've realized it's a very low-hanging fruit for many people. And therefore, we are going to be coming together and helping people understand how to become profitable distributors. And you are one of them, your distributors here, all right? So that will be on January 12th. Let's go to the business of the day. And before I start the business of the day, Brenda, anything on the chat I need to take note of?
Let me check. No, we just have the responses to what it takes to become to become an ACI, to be recognized. They say 50 applications and 2.4 million So yes, and then Victor is saying 200. The 20x he is responding to that 200%, and Rachel is there congratulating you. She's saying incredible on your achievement.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, 50 applications and 2.4 million. Funny, you guys are not growing. I mean, I thought now by API should be like 4 million or 5 million. What's happening in that industry? Anyway, let's talk about selling. And I just want us to lay the background. As I said, what we have documented is how did I do it? What exactly happened? For example, I did not sell the first 3 months. Why? What were the reasons? All this is documented. I don't know how many of you have read this book. I'm also an author of this book, Sell Me This Pen. This was the first documentation of my sales journey and the science of selling. Remember, I was a scientist. So I've documented the science of selling. And one thing I can tell you is, I remember when we were recruiting sales agents, we used to look for those who are talkative. And over time, the more I have grown in sales, the more I've realized selling is not telling, and therefore is not for the talkative. It is for listeners. And I will explain why it is for listeners and not for talkers. Because today, everybody is talking. You know, go to your WhatsApp, somebody is telling you something. Go to your Facebook, somebody is telling you something. Everybody is telling somebody something. Sorry, I just came from Kilimanjaro and I was hiking with the Ugandan. So I'm finding myself speaking like, yes, so don't worry. Yes, so selling is not telling, it is listening. And what are you listening to do? You're listening to understand so that you can provide the solution. That is what selling is. So the next time somebody says, oh, you talk so much, that's why you can sell. But the truth of the matter is, you know that you're not selling because you're talking too much. You will start selling when you stop talking and start listening. That is when these numbers, actually, we can't talk about 2.4 million. Oh, by the way, I managed to do, in 2013, I managed to do 10 points, I can't remember, 10 point what million API in 2013. And that is when I knew my work as a life insurance agent was done. And so I needed to move to the next level. And therefore, that's how I got my promotion. Okay, I did 10 point something million and I had done 79 applications. So 50 ni kidogo sana. That was 2013. I was expecting by now it's Mefika 100, the target. And the API is like 4 million or 5 million. All right. So the other thing about selling is it is a science. What does that mean? There are certain things you need to do in a certain way to get certain results. And it also means that it is teachable. It is trainable. It is something that someone can learn and do and get the results that is expected. That's what a science is. The challenge with art is that it's both a science and art, but it's more science than art. The challenge with art is it's dependent on the personality. But science, it doesn't matter whether you're talkative, it doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or extrovert, so long as you do those certain things, you will get the result, okay? And the other thing about selling is that it is helping customers succeed with your products. What does that mean? That it's not a hit and run. You know, many agents, they're not here. Those who are not here, they do what we call hit and run, accidental sales. So that is when you sell one policy in February, because January you don't sell anything. And then you sell the next policy in May, and the other policy will come in sometimes in September. So basically, you can never know when the sale will happen. And when you meet them, they tell you, I'm trusting God. I hope I will go to work this year. I hope I'm going to do 10 million someday. So hope is normally their strategy. Now, I'm here to tell you the bad news that hope is not a strategy. Sales is a science. And therefore, you need to understand the science. Remember, in life, in this life and the way God created heaven and the earth and us and everything, there are principles that you must abide with. This is the science, all right? So if you disobey that science, then you're not going to get the results. It doesn't matter how hopeful you are, all right? And all these are my perspective of what's selling. You may not find them in the dictionary. This is my own personal journey and my understanding of sales. And if you have a new way, let's share so that we keep creating new knowledge, because that's why we exist, to keep growing and creating new knowledge. Selling is the way God answers other people's prayers. And I'll give you an example. There's one of my clients that I remember very well. I remember her because, I mean, it's a sad story, but also a happy story. So this client, I talked to her and she bought a policy and for her kids. And then when she bought the policy, I remember I went back to her, I went home and I had some restlessness. And following day, I called her and said, I need to see you. And when I saw her, I told her, you know, you've taken a cover and you know that you have protected your husband and your children, but you're not protected. And you as a woman and me being a woman, I will not allow that. So can I talk to your husband so that he can protect you? And she sought to understand, how am I not protected? And I explained that if, you know, God forbid, that's the word we use, in the event that you pass on, your husband will receive all these benefits that are listed in this policy on behalf of your children. Okay? Now, in the event that he passed on, you will continue paying this policy and you will continue paying school fees and you will have no husband. So yes, it's very painful to lose a loved one, but it's more painful, or rather, the pain aggravates more when you know that you have these financial burdens because it's not there. And that's when she told me, hey, you have to make sure that he take a policy. And so he went to the husband, she went to the husband's office. We were working in the same office and I was let in. And I had only one message. Mr. So-and-so, I am this person and we've been talking with your wife and I will not allow you not to have a policy. Said, no, I don't need one if she has taken one. I explained to him and he actually signed up a policy of sum assured of 2 million. It was, for those who work in Britain, it is called a money back. And the following day I told him we'll go for medical checkup. He was reluctant. And somehow I managed to get him to the clinic. Fast forward 2 years, after 2 years, that guy passed on through an accident. And one thing that I'm happy of, as much as it was painful, at least I went with a check of 4 million to say, Paule, you know, what does that mean? This is someone who was praying, God, you know, how will I educate my children? I'm sure she could not remember that moment. That is a prayer answered. They had some apartments that were under construction that are not being completed. And she was able to complete them through that. So what am I saying? That the moment you're not selling, the moment you're saying it's only 50 applications and 2.4 million, it means how many Kenyans are exposed to loss of a loved one. Now, for those who are selling medical cover, the statistics say that every year, 1.7 million Kenyans slid into poverty due to out-of-pocket hospital bills. Yet you're there, you're waking, you don't even want to wake up because you don't feel like doing it. And somebody is praying, God, provide for us, you know, to be able to pay the bills. So that's the way God answers prayers. God does not come himself. He sends us. So when you start seeing your job as not a job. It's not about commission. It is about a mission. You're in a mission. Is it in or on? You're on a mission to help people get their prayers answered. And now other people are praying, God, I need a home. And you, because you sell insurance and it is life insurance, you do not hear them. We'll come to that, all right? So that's selling for me, my perspective about selling. Keep typing in the chat. Let me see what you're hearing. Are we together? Is it making sense to you? Are you getting new knowledge? Do you want to add on to that? Please type in the chat. Today is a conversation between us insurance people. There is nobody else in this room, all right? Yeah. Anyone else? Please type in the chat. What is it? What are you hearing? What are you understanding? What new are you learning in this process? What is the making of a great financial advisor? That is my next conversation. What makes a great financial advisor? Who is a financial advisor in the first place? Let's hear. Let me stop sharing so that I hear. Who is a financial advisor? You can raise your hand, or I'll pick you. No, insurance people are not afraid, so I should not be picking anyone. Just raise your hand. Okay. Oh, Carol says, I'm on a mission. Yes, we are on a mission, not just for commission. We are on a mission. We have been commissioned to this mission. Okay, Stanley, yes. All right. So let me hear, who is a financial advisor? Please raise your hand. Wawero says, a solution provider. Let's hear from other people. Thank you, Wawero. When did the insurance people start fearing? Brenda, I'm surprised. Am I in the right room?
I don't know, maybe we walked. I don't know, maybe we walked into the doctor's rooms.
Kenga. Rachel, when did insurance people start fearing? Amy here. Rachel, tell us, who is a financial advisor?
Oh, here's one.
Julia says someone who gives financial.
Rachel is saying she's a listener. No, today I want to hear. A good
All
student.
Right. Mary Wamboi says someone who helps other people manage their finances. Awesome. Samson, a financial solution provider. Someone who gives financial literacy. Awesome. He or she gives ideas and solutions to clients. Very good answers there. Thank you so much. So are you a financial advisor or are you an insurance seller? Please answer that one next. Are you an insurance seller or are you a financial advisor? Because that's the word, that's a name, that's a title that you give. Kenga says someone who has customers' interest at heart. Caroline, one who helps others see money saving in a positive perspective. Awesome. There's none that is wrong, by the way. All the answers are correct. Victor says, a financial journey planner. My mission is to make them have pension and not tension. Oh, that's a sweet one. All right? Pension and not tension. Timothy, pocket doctor. Who is that now? Oh, yeah, a pocket doctor. Awesome. Anatibu mifuko. Alex says, is a professional who provides advice and guidance on financial matters, such as investment, budgeting, retirement. Awesome. Okay. Monica is saying I'm an agent of hope. All right. I hope that hope is not the only strategy you use. All right. So what is the making of a great financial advisor? We are all clear on who a financial advisor is. There's no doubt about that. And let's see what makes a great financial advisor. Number one, they listen. Okay? And they are not sellers. They are listeners, and they're very knowledgeable about the financial market. So you cannot say you're a financial advisor who only understands education policy. How about the health insurance? How about pensions? How about other investments like mutual funds? How about other investments like property and land? All this, you need to understand the whole spectrum of financial market. So you can't be a financial advisor who only know one product. So you need to understand the landscape of the money markets, or rather financial markets, so that you're able to provide solutions. Now, please note, they work for their customers, not for commission. Now, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with commissions. I made a lot of it. Oh my goodness, I told you, I was able to get my commissions to over $500,000 in less than 3 years. So I know that that is a driver. However, you need to remember something I keep telling all salespeople. Everybody listens to one FM station. What is that FM station? Which one are you listening to? Timothy Gatehi. Which FM station do you listen to? Timothy?
Capital.
Capital FM. Mercy Ahoma. Which one do you listen to?
Unfortunately, I don't. I'm not a fan of radio.
All right. Okay, but you listen to TV?
Yes, sometimes, yes.
Which one?
Mostly I'll just do KTN news.
KTN. All right. Moses Irongo. Which FM station do you listen to? Moses? Okay. Victor, Classic, okay, Victor Mudoka, I see Rachel listens to Classic FM. Now, I want you to know today that everybody, we all listen to one FM station. It is not Classic, it is not Capital, it is not Ghetto, it is not KTN, it is not Citizen. We all listen to one FM station called WIIFM. What is in it for me? Please write that word on your notebook. WIIFM means what is in it for me. Now, your customers are listening to that FM. What is in it for me? You are listening to that FM station, again called What is in it for me? Now, you know what is in it for you. When you get a customer, you know that what is in it for you is great, good commissions, big commissions, isn't it? But what is in it for the customer? How do you position yourself to help the customer get what is in it for them? And many times we don't give customers what they want. We give them what we want. We convince them to take what we want them to take because we have to sell, instead of inspiring them or helping them make a decision that they'll be so happy to live with. Okay? So a great financial advisor listens to the customer, and they are continuously learning. That's why you're here. Okay, now let me explain to you what listening means, because I don't want to leave this room and you don't know how to listen. God gifted you with how many ears? He gifted you with 2 ears.
2.
And 2 eyes, and the 2 eyes are to see. You're able, you listen with your ears, with your eyes, with your mind, and with your heart. Now, this is a Japanese symbol of listening. I hope you can see it. Can you see? This is a Japanese symbol for listening. And,
yes,
and God did not make a mistake. He gave us 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth only, and a mind and a heart. All this to listen. Only Japanese and Chinese have been able to bring out what listening is all about. So you have 2 ears so that you can hear the words they're saying, and 2 eyes to observe the body language, to see what they're not saying, and a mind to comprehend what exactly, to process what did they say, and a heart to empathize with them, putting yourself in their position, in their situation, so that you can, that's what we call empathy. And 1 mouth for undivided attention. So that means that you need to, if you have 5 minutes, you need to talk for 1 minute, and your customer needs to talk for 4. A ratio of 4 to 1. Or what we do, we talk for 4 minutes and we give the customer 1 minute to talk. And that's why we don't hear them. And when we don't hear them, then they will not buy. Remember, and let me just show you some very interesting data here. You need to remember one thing, that 10% of the people will never buy from you, okay? Another 10% will buy even if you don't sell to them. They already have decided they will buy. Now, what do we do as insurance agents? We are always focusing on this 10%. Actually, these 10, the one that will never buy, and the other 10 of the ones who will buy, even if we don't sell to them. So those are the ones we keep telling. Now, because they bought, you thought that you did a very good job of talking, but they bought because they were going to buy anyway. Do you understand? And those who say no is because we're not going to buy anyway. Now, when I was trained, the first time I was trained in sales, I was told that their prospects called China eggs. I don't believe it, but that's what they said. Then there's a whole 80%. You see this whole percentage here? They want to buy. They want to buy. They are prepared to buy. They are looking forward to buy, but they need someone to help them buy. But what do, we do not speak to these people. We're busy speaking to these in yellow and in red. Why? Because they're the ones who are hearing us. They're the ones who can listen to the telling. But the 80%, they are saying, they're screaming, please help me make the right decision. Help me make a decision that I'm going to live with. Remember, insurance is that product that, over a long time, people do not trust. So that 80% are here. They know that, it's important. They actually want to buy. But what do? We push them away by telling them instead of helping them. What is your work as a financial advisor? Your work, as I said, is to listen. Your work, you should be that guide that, that is able to ask, this prospect, where do you want to go? What are your objectives? And let me give you some tips on what to listen out to. You ask them, yes, they want to buy. What is your risk profile? Do you have a high risk appetite, or are you more conservative? What is your view of risk? These are some of the questions you should be asking. Why? Because when you ask these questions, then you understand the customer deeply, and the customer feel understood. And these things you call objection will be a thing of the past if you can listen, okay? So be asking, what is your risk appetite? And they will say words, but there are things they won't say, but you will pick them. And you need to be able to repeat to them and say, is this what you mean? Okay? What are their investment objectives? What are their goals? For example, what do they want to achieve? What stage in life are they? And what are they trying? What are their top priorities in those stages? These are things you need to learn so that you can be able to ask the right question. When you consider investment, depending on what they want to invest in, then you're able to advise them. For example, if they want to invest in school fees, or rather for school fees, then you know that they can't invest in land because land is not as liquid. However, if they want to speculate, then they should be able to invest in land or in property, all right? So you need to be able to understand the whole spectrum of finances. What timelines do they have? If they are young and they have, they are 20, they just got their first job, what is this that they should be doing? What is the purpose of this investment? These are some of the things you need to listen out to. But imagine if you're not educated in all the financial services, then even if they answer these questions, you're still going to push them to buy the policy you want them to buy instead of helping them make the decision that they are very, very happy to live with. And do you know why policies will lapse? Because they did not, you gave them a solution. Yes, you may have understood their problem, but you gave them a solution that does not work for their situation. Any questions up to that point? Let me see questions. Maswali? Yes, Mercy, you have a question or it's a thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Enjoying the session.
Awesome. Okay, great. Any questions, any comments? You may not have a question, but you have a comment or, a comment or a complaint or a compliment. Please share. You can share it in the chat as we continue. But do you understand what the market requires? Now, times have changed. You cannot continue pushing products. You have to position yourself as a financial planner, a financial advisor. And that requires you to be a new person. You have to do a complete makeover, 180 degrees shift from what you have always been doing to what the customers want. Remember, 80% of the people, out there are waiting for you. Have you ever wondered why insurance penetration is so low, despite all these many years? And, insurance companies keep saying the same thing. Why? Why is the penetration so low? Let me hear from you. Please type in the chat. I'm still waiting. Yeah, you guys are not typing. Yeah, but imagine, let me give you an example of what I mean. Because I don't want you to leave here and say, no, I didn't understand it. When I went without selling for 3 months, I was completely lost, completely lost. And I advise you to get a copy of this book because you will understand when I say I was lost, you will know what lost. And I'm sure you have been lost at some point also. And I was coming from an ISO certified organization, a training institution that was very, very professional. And so I tried to go with other agents to the field. And every time I went out with them, I would be completely put off because I'm like, no, you can't do this to a client. You can't tell them like that. You can't use threats. And, and you can't withhold information. And so when I was tired, I realized I was, whatever I was learning, according to me, it wasn't making sense. I went back and asked myself, when I was teaching business communication, one of the things we used to teach is that people buy what they want, not what they need. And when I analyzed insurance, I realized it is one of those products or services that people need, but they do not want. And I asked myself, so what do they really want? Because they honestly don't want insurance. That's why they don't buy. People buy what they want. If you look at what you buy, it is what you want. You are pushed to buy, or rather you are sold what you need. But when you want something, you go for it and you buy it. And I asked, what do they want? And as I was doing my research, I discovered that people are very indebted. I also discovered that they wanted to buy land. By the Ploti Maguta Maguta is a big, big deal. They also wanted to do other investments, but not insurance. That is when I started training on personal financial planning. And how I started, for those who are in Mombasa, is there anyone from Mombasa here? Please raise your hand to Kuone. You know, I hear it's raining heavily there. I hope it's not flooding where you are. But I started hosting an event that I used to call Friday PM Tea and Talk. And in that event, we were discussing everything about investment, including debt management, including buying property. And I would come in with real estate people, and those who want to buy land, they would get, you know, I would connect them to land buyers. Those who wanted to buy bonds, I would connect them to people who are very good at bonds and treasury bills. Those who wanted to, you know, save for emergency fund, I would introduce them to money market. And there are those who want to plan for education for their kids. Remember, they don't want insurance, but they want school fees for their children. So I would now give them education policy. Now, for those who are in Britam Mombasa branch, you know that it got to a point where customers were queuing to buy insurance for the first time. How many of you customers are queuing to come to your office to buy insurance? That is how it changed. And because I did it, I believe you can do it. And I am willing to walk the journey with those who are willing to put in the work, because it is work. It is not just something you wake up and stroll into. I'm willing to work with those who are willing to do the work. And therefore, I'm inviting you, I'm inviting you to sign up. Our first course is 5-day sales challenge. This is where we get to know who is serious and who is not. I would like you to sign up to the 5-day sales challenge, which is starting next week. Next week is 20th, yeah? And I want to walk this journey with you. After the 5 days, we are going to move to the next and to the next. And one thing I have known is that what you do not pay for, you do not work on. And that's why we are charging you 5,000 shillings. This is a commitment, is to show commitment. But I'm committing to work with you a journey of between now and December for your Aki, for those who want to go to Aki, or those who want to meet certain income goals. Is it 20? I mean, is it 2 times? Is it a certain amount? I want to work with only those who want to do it, okay? Many of you have been calling me, no, Eunice, I want to meet you. Unfortunately, these days, I don't have much time to meet everybody. It's because I can't afford it. But this is your moment. This is the moment. If you want to work with me on this, I am available to do this. So you sign up. The team will share with you. For only those who have attended this webinar, if you pay before midnight, 19th, you will pay 4,500, okay? I have here Brenda. I think we have, who else is here? Lulu and Faith and Derek are in the team. So please reach out to them. Please put your contact in the chat and sign up for that. And this remaining part of the year, I just want to walk the journey with my people, who are my insurance people. It is where I've made the most money in the insurance, and I just want to walk with you that journey. So I have one question. How many of you want to be mentored for the remaining part of the, yeah. How many of you? Please raise your hand. You can just use the emoji. There's some emojis there saying, I am here. Yes, Millicent, I see your hand. Who else? I saw somebody else saying me. Victor Moore. Thank you. Victor Modoka. Hey, there are many Victors today. Victor Madoka, I see your hand. Keep them raised. Yeah. So it just requires your commitment. If you pay before Sunday midnight, 4,500. After that, it should be 5,000 shillings. This is going to be only a class for insurance agents. Nobody else will be mixed in this class because it's intimate. It's going to be intimate. All right. Now, what will happen is that every day there'll be lessons for you on our e-learning platform. However, we will put you in our WhatsApp group where I'll walk with you the journey, and in case you have any challenges, you can be able to raise it and we are able to address it quickly. And by the end of 5 days, I believe you'll have transformed in a big way. All right. So please take the contacts, I think, on the chat. I don't know whether they're already on the chat, and let's talk. And that brings me to the end of the session. Let's hear the comments, whether it has met your expectations, have I exceeded your expectations? Please put in the comment. If I've not met your expectations, please put it there also. And we reach out so that we know what we can do to do better next time. All right. Oh, yeah, I see you putting in your phone numbers. Please, Tim, please take note and call each one of them so that we can walk this journey with them. I see Mercy Yahoma says, because need analysis is not done, then mis-selling happens when clients become, yes, those are some of the reasons why people don't like insurance, because they don't trust you. And so what we are going to do in the next 5 days, next week, is to ask, how can we help you be that trusted financial advisor? Which number can someone use to purchase the books? And what are the prices? The Sell Me This pen is 1,500. Brenda, or I mean, Faith, are you there? Please put your number, your phone number, so that they can call you. Yes, actually, just to let you know, for those who are asking for recording, this session was live on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, look for 20X Entrepreneur, and this video is already there. You can watch it again and again. And there are many more videos. Please follow us on YouTube. Is it called following? What do you do on YouTube? Do you follow? You like?
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube. We create a lot of content. Please go to the YouTube channel, 20X Entrepreneur, and subscribe. Yes, both. Thank you, Victor, for saving. Yeah. So a phone number has been put there for 20X Entrepreneur by Faith, 0708 756 221. That is in case you want a book or you want to know how to join the course, the 5-day sales challenge. It's going to be a 5 days full of fun and challenge. All right. And we'll tell you what will be happening in those 5 days once you sign up. All right. With that, I would say you have a good night. It's 8:10. We like to keep it short and sweet. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Really learned a lot being here.
Awesome.